everyone. My name is David Underwood, and I am the Managing Director of Detroit Community Care Network. We are a faith-based organization made up of member churches that serve those in our community, connecting them to programs, services, resources, and information that has a positive impact in their lives. And right now, I'm actually sitting here with Charles. Charles is one of the individuals that I met back in 2023, I believe it was, wasn't it, Charles?
23, yeah.
And we had an opportunity to meet, and we were able to, Detroit Community Care Network was able to assist Charles. So today we're just kind of having a conversation, really reuniting. It's good to see you.
Good to see you
Good
again.
to see you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We're just kind of reuniting and chopping it up a little bit, just remembering that day we met,
Right.
Getting back to that day, I called you up and I said, I'd love to be able to have this conversation.
And I was honored. I'm like, wow. So, you guys have, helped me out extremely,
Okay.
I was going through a rough time. It was just, I don't know, heaven sent that we ran across paths.
Absolutely. And that's what I wanted to recall because it just happened to be, was a Saturday night, I believe it was, out on the Avenue of Fashion.
Yeah. Yep. They were doing an event, and it was a particular guy who was running the Avenue of Fashion at the time. And I had did some work for him before in the past, and he was like, I'm doing this big thing for the city and the community. They were doing it was like fashion shows all out on the streets and food and everything. And we were doing the setup. And, a busy day that day. We're running back and forth, up and down. And that evening we were shutting down and I was trying to get that, one of the 10, I was struggling.
Yeah, that's actually the part that's the actual meeting part.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, because I was out there and I was just out there looking at the entertainment that was going on, and I think it was in front of Good Times, one of the restaurants.
Yeah, they had the live jazz.
Had the live jazz going on, and I noticed Charles was struggling with the setup, and I said, "Oh, he needs some help." So I'm just going to be the nice guy that I am, right? And I said, "Hey, man, you need a little help getting that in there?" And he was like, "Yeah, absolutely,"
because I was struggling.
So from there, actually, we began to talk a little bit, and it just so happened that tent was important in my eyes because that 2 weeks from that night was going to be the Ribs and R&B festival, jazz festival down at the Hart Plaza. And Detroit Community Care Network was one of the sponsors, and we were going to be there. And I knew we were going to have a tent set up, and I'm like, man, I don't have a crew, I don't have a staff to do the tents and so forth, and so it was perfect. Yeah. And I offered you that opportunity, and
I jumped right on it. No problem.
You jumped right on it. I think you called me about 5 times.
I did.
Before that event took place.
I'm like, you sure you do now? Yeah, I'm here for you.
And I'm like, man, I got you, no problem. Needless to say that we had a great weekend down at the Ribs and R&B Festival, and Charles was a tremendous help to our team, setting up our tents and so forth. We were down there serving our community, doing free health risk assessments on that weekend. Yes. But to make a long story short, one of where we transitioned is at the close of that event. Yeah. I think you felt compelled to kind of share some things with me. Yeah. And that you needed some support and some help. Correct. And of course, that's what we do, right? Correct. So after having a great weekend and partying a little bit, listening to some great music.
Live music.
You had VIP seats.
I know, man. That was, hey, I couldn't beat that with a bat. That was an experience. It was,
But so tell me a little bit about, what compelled you to even confide in me to say that you needed some support.
Well, when I went down there and, helping set up the tents and, the people from your organization, everybody was so friendly. It was just, people were easy to talk to, you know what I'm saying? And I was seeing so many of the different things that you guys were doing as far as, helping people. And I'm like, man, I'm going through it right now. Maybe I can, but I didn't want to at first, because I'm like, hey, let me stay professional. He's asked me for, me to do a job, And, but it was just, you were just so warm and easy, to talk to. And I was like, to help people. So let me shoot my shot.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell this guy, because I was really going through it. And, that Livernois Avenue of Fashion, how we met, a friend of mine told me about that. And, I was just doing the job, and I think it was, to me, it was having said that I met you. Man, I don't know, you about to have me tear up right now.
Well, I mean, that's the way I felt, you know what I'm saying? Because when you shared with me that you needed some support, one of the first things I thought about was one of my partners, Matrix Human Services, who I knew had a program that would be able to really help serve you, maybe help you find employment and so forth. Right. And so I called on that Monday. After that Sunday, I called David Perkins, who's head of the health services over at Matrix, a dear friend of mine. And he said, hey, have him, I'm going to call him. I'm going to make contact with him. Right. And he reached out, and I guess you guys talked. And tell me what happened when he...
Yeah, so, he asked me to explain a little bit about my situation. I had told him, I said, well, May 19th, I bought a truck. I only had the truck a month and a half. May 19th, my truck was stolen. 2 days later, I lost my home, everything. I was homeless. I really didn't too much know what to do. House hopping. Like I said, I lived in fashion. Then I met you, and I was house to house, sleeping outside. And they hooked me up with the city of Detroit, Matrix did, with the Skills for Life program. And I got into that through Matrix. Matrix has been helping me out ever since. With food cards. They helped me pay bills off, They actually helped me, the apartment that I'm in now.
Right.
Matrix actually paid the first 3 months and security deposits for me to be in the place that I'm in now.
Okay.
Because I was literally homeless, and I moved in that June 19th, a day before my birthday. So I mean, it was like divine order, And I have to say, and they're still helping me now, So I just do my assessment every 6 months, but it all started from
our conversation.
Our conversation, and you was like, wow, like you're homeless, and I'm catching a bus until it was time for me to go to work when I was working for the city. When I got laid off from the city, Matrix was still there. You guys were still there. And I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? For me to be able to get this support when I lost everything and no one else was there, here I meet you, a total stranger.
Right.
And look, if I wouldn't have met you and went down there, I never would have heard of Matrix. I would have never heard about you. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this is life altering for me because I don't know where I would be right now. Well, so that really that means a lot to me.
That makes me feel the blessing, the fact that you are able to now say what you're able to say and have experienced what you've experienced, and for our organization and our people to make you feel comfortable enough to share and to pour out, if you will, a little bit, to receive what it is that you are definitely, everyone is worthy and should get the help that they need. That's what Detroit Community Care Network is all about. We're about serving the people, right? We have state certified community health workers now. We got 29 of them across about 13 different churches. So we're here to serve our community. It's a blessing that I have met you and you have met me. And I'm super excited about your future because I know you're a hard worker. That's what I did notice about you that evening. And I noticed after the event, I mean, you worked hard, you did whatever was required, and you did it with no problems, no
smile
complaints.
on my face.
A smile on your face.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And then ask, is there anything else you need?
Right.
So I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you having this conversation and sharing your story a little bit. For the people to be able to know a little bit about yourself, but also a little bit about our organization and how we are here to serve.
Correct.
And so I would share with anyone that is out there that if you're in need of support, Detroit Community Care Network is here to serve you. We can help you by connecting you to programs, services, resources, and information that can have a positive impact in your life. So Again, Charles, man, it's been a pleasure, man. This is life altering for both of us.
Man,
Because
thank you so
I am
much.
so excited for
Yes.
where it is that the Lord has taken you.
And He's taking it.
And
Yes.
He's taken you.
Yes, and it's, I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. You guys
Absolutely.
are amazing. So,
Thank you.
you know,
Thank you.
I was telling a couple of my friends about you guys, so who's been going through.
Okay.
And, you guys are really doing a big thing, and you just really have no idea how much it was a blessing to meet you and for me to be able to get all these things accomplished that I'm doing, and I'm still thriving. You know,
Absolutely.
just got the new job now.
Absolutely.
About to have the
Absolutely.
highest paid job I've ever had. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
right. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, man. And be able to be self-supporting and self-sufficient.
Yes.
That's what
And the
it's all
counseling
about.
you guys offered through,
Right.
that was a way of release for me to be able to speak to someone professional to, you know, because depression, mental health is, people look over it sometimes.
Absolutely.
Sometimes some people just want somebody to listen
We
to us.
always need a listening ear. Believe me. I've been there. I've been
Yes.
there personally, and I think we all experienced that.
And I appreciate you listening to me. So
Thank you.
thank you so much. Yes.